out of his mind. And he did what people these days do when they are bored, or actually do for any reason whatsoever, if you can call this up. He started a blog, and joshspear.com became a very popular blog. I don't know if you can, if we can shift to the laptop PC, we'll have a chance to see his blog. There it is. In fact, I think it was conspicuously showing on some of the laptops present, and I saw Josh there moments before it was then on his homepage and was left there for you all to notice, a form of guerrilla marketing that I applaud. His blog became very, very popular, and he now has found himself in the position of consulting with many, many corporations, large and small, on an area that I guess he calls brandvertising markability. And if you don't know how to do good brandvertising markability, he's the guy to tell you. He's founded a company called Undercurrent that is taking up nearly all his time as he is using up his carbon offsets faster than even we are. And I hope he'll give us some wisdom today. So Josh, please come up and join us.
Got my dongle here. Hi. This is daunting. Definitely humbled to be here with such an amazing group of speakers and people and brands and agencies. So thank you for having me. Special thanks to Nikesh, who actually read my blog, found me and invited me to be out here.
And thanks for dressing up.
And I dressed up. I was going to wear a ripped T-shirt, and I decided I would wear a collar. Who am I? Jonathan did a good job of this. I started this blog in the back of a journalism course. I was going to be an advertising/journalism double major, and it really disappointed me as a young person to see that the universities were basically ignoring new media. They're still teaching old styles of advertising, and you're still learning about film and radio, and it just blew my mind that one of the best advertising programs in the U.S. Wasn't talking about it. So I started a blog to sort of place things that I thought were interesting or cool or emerging in art and design and food and gadgetry and really just my life. My job was really quite easy because I just posted things that I liked. Fast forward a bit, now there's about 8 people that work on the site, and I unfortunately, because it's my favorite thing to do, I work on it very little now. And I launched an agency that helps companies integrate into the digital space without advertising. What would it be like if they were to spend that money on building resources and things that young people and all people would actually use and would be infinite? And we're going to talk about that today. So enough about me. Let's talk about digital youth trends with Josh Spear. That's not Josh Spear. This is Allie. She's unimpressed. She's bored. She was born digital. She's anywhere between the ages of probably 14 and 22, let's say. But instead of talking about trends today, and instead of talking about big global trends, I want to talk about a few of them that manifest in her daily life and things that really that make her tick in the digital world, things that she cares about, things that she's doing often. Obviously, she wakes up in the morning. Alarm clocks no longer exist for the digital youth. It's all happening on our cell phones. It's probably all happening for many people in here. How many people use their cell phone even when they're at home as their alarm? Enormous. Not in the shower, though. Her mobile, the mobile phones are in our hands. It's in her hands before anything else happened. And she always knows where it is. And this is something that's really interesting that's happening across everyone, but the digital youth is being born with this insight and this sort of internal conscious about where their cell phone is at all times. They know what it's in their desk, what drawer it's in, if it's in their jacket, what pockets it's in, if it's in the handbag, where in the handbag it is, what pocket. And so do you probably. Everyone sort of knows this now. And it's literally changing the way that we as physical human beings think about where we are in space. Where's our connectivity? Because I feel awkward when my cell phone isn't around. And if I leave, I feel naked. And for someone that was born digital, and like Allie, without that right away, the first of the day, she's almost naked. So the first trend that is going to sort of echo throughout the stuff we talk about is mobile as my center of gravity. And this is a center of gravity for everybody, but for the digital youth, people are born with that as their center of gravity. Ali and her friends drive to school. They Twitter and text. We saw earlier, Loic said, how many people Twitter? Was it, you want to do the numbers again? Because I was watching.
How many people don't Twitter? How many people are like, what the hell is Twitter?
Okay, cool.
And we have to double that for the people who are too embarrassed to say. So you need to explain it.
So I'm going to jump into Twitter. It's micro. The best term I've heard from it is microblogging. It is simply, what are you doing? It is this community, so you can sign up and with your cell phone or online or through IM say, what are you doing at that given time? And the things that people are twittering are ridiculous. So I mean, to some degree it concerns me, but it's also quite interesting. So here's Ali. She had a purse Twitter. She accidentally Twittered from her purse because she was so interested in letting her friends know what was happening. This is Ali's based on a real person. Ali's actually got 1,736 followers. She's updated that more than 1,200 times. It's craziness. But
and is iJustine a friend of yours?
iJustine is a friend of mine. So Ali's based on a real person. Rather than use the real person, I thought I would use Ali.
And have you met her in real life?
I've never. No. The interesting thing that's happening here are sort of Twitter meets location-based stuff. It's sort of like Twitter meets crack. This is what I call the buddy beacons. And anyone know Helio, that company? Nobody knows Helio? A couple people? So this company, their whole campaign, they have this campaign called the Friendar. And it's sort of like, where are your friends? So now it's not just about what are you doing? It's what are you doing and where are you and how close are you to? And are you in my proximity? Are you within 5 miles so we can meet up for a drink or a date or other things? So this big trend is I'm always on, find me anywhere. This is something else that's going to echo through this. Ali fires up her laptop during a free period at school. She's got something nice in her email box from a guy she likes. Virtual gifting, anybody? Seen virtual gifting? Anybody on Facebook here? Or who is not on Facebook?
We can check again at the end of the session and see who signed up.
Ali's received a gift that a boy spent $1 to send her. And actually, it doesn't exist. It's a small icon that was placed on her Facebook page. You can choose your gift, everything from a roll of toilet paper to a shot glass to a small bunny. And what's most interesting about this is that these gifts are actually limited edition and limited time. And there's rumor that Facebook is selling more than 1 million of these. That's more than $1 million a month of something that has no limited supply a month. Hot or Not is another group that's been doing this for a while. And they recently, within last month, actually overturned their membership numbers, which was creating about $600,000 in revenue a month for them. And they went strictly to virtual gifting, and they made that back in the past month. They make $600,000 just from virtual gifts. And obviously, $2 for a red carnation, but it's $10, 10 US dollars for a fake red rose.
Plus, there's shipping.
Yeah, there's shipping. There's bandwidth costs here. So this trend, virtual gifting, and this is really really interesting to me. This is anybody can write prose now, and anybody can send you a text message. Anybody can Twitter you, and anybody can do all these different things. But how do you show that you really care? So right now, and I think this is going to really blow up, is let me show you I really care. Like, I care enough to spend $10 on a fake rose. That must mean something beyond just the note that I could send.
So it's not the thought that counts.
No, it's no longer the thought that counts. It's a cross between ingenuity and pocket change. I mean, it's really fascinating, this virtual gifting. And I've seen a lot of brands here that it would be interesting if they were to apply that virtual gifting. Like how that would work, show the appreciation for a car or the appreciation for a brand altogether.
Hey, Josh, just a quick question. Do you think if these folks were offered a chance to trade their virtual gift back in for the dollar, would they do it, or would they keep the little rubber ducky?
I think they would keep the rubber ducky. I think there's no question. I mean, if we bump back, we see that Justine here has 37 gifts.
She has $37, but she'd rather have the gifts.
But she'd rather show off the gifts. She's also got 741 wall posts and 493 photos, so she's a bit of a new media whore. But
That's some of the new youth lingo you're using there. That's very good.
All of the digital youth are, and that's something that needs to be thought about a little bit. Is that these things that mean so little to all you grown adults mean so much to them, and that we can laugh that off. It's still like, well, wait a minute, that's $1 million a month.
I could be selling them those gifts. Right.
Exactly, and I just might. So after home, she goes online to flirt. I can't wait to talk to the Bebo guys about social networking and what it's for. I strongly believe that whether you have a social network for dogs, for cats, LinkedIn for work, Facebook for school people and work, it's all about the exact same thing. It's about flirting, it's about sex, it's about booty. Anybody who says otherwise is lying. I really think so. This is a new site. Anybody seen this site, I'm in like with you?
Nobody's going to admit that. Come on.
One, that's good. Well, if you work in advertising, you should see it, I guess. So I'll show this site. This site I'm in like with you. I'm not surprised you haven't seen it. It's fairly new, maybe 4 or 5 months old now. And this site is invite only right now due to bandwidth issues. And you can come on to I'm in like with you and you set up a game. So Allie goes on and she sets up a game. Her game is called Suggestion Box. And her call to action is improve me. So bidders go on, and they actually bid points that they received initially. Now, this is back to mobile as the center of gravity, and I'm always on is when they signed up for the site, they were prompted if they'd like to, they were prompted immediately for their cell phone number, because most of the management of this site happened through your cell phone. So it would text you and say, how old are you? And then it would text you and say, would you like to upload a picture to your profile? And it would text you and say, what would you like to be known as your likes and preferences, etc. So now, that's how you acquire points. So now boys or girls or anybody can come and bid on her and say, how would you improve her? And what you get when you win this game is you get the ability to contact her. So people bid more blogging, another Mac, you're fabulous, keep it rolling. So they bid their points on these people.
And does she get those points, or they go to a third party?
She gets those points. She gets the person's points when she chooses the winner. So when she chose me as the winner, she gives me, Josh Spear, the jet-setting super maven, the ability to talk to her. So now
is this how you met her?
No.
Okay.
No. So
you can hear there's another story in there, but.
So now that I was the winner of this game, I was given the ability to send her a message. And not only was I given the ability to send her a message, I was given her the ability to actually call her on the telephone without ever revealing my phone number or seeing her phone number. They build a system where it calls and says, thank you for calling. I'm in like with you. Would you like to be connected to? And it reads through your contacts. This brings up a lot about privacy and a lot about anonymity and a lot about this big trend, which I think dating is gaming. And dating is gaming is dating has been gaming on TV for ages. But it hasn't translated on the internet yet, and this is the first place I've seen it happen. And I think it's going to be huge. In fact, I know it's going to be huge because people can step behind and actually have a better process to vet out potential people that they talk to or potential companions. And it's something that the digital youth is comfortable doing. They're comfortable uploading those things by their phone, and they're comfortable playing a game to achieve some type of success, even if that success is just talking to someone. Shop at the mall. She could. They're not anymore as much as they were. She finds one-of-a-kind jewelry, cool T-shirts, custom ringtones nobody else has online. So Etsy, any Etsy users or people that know Etsy in here? A couple? Etsy's awesome for people of all ages. Etsy is sort of like the eBay of homemade stuff. So Allie goes on Etsy, or most digital youth would go on Etsy to find things that have been handmade, things that nobody else has. So she could pop on and find the orange blossom necklace, which costs a whopping $10, which has a rating of 586, and purchase it. Something that people will say, where did you get that? And she'll say, well, I got it on Etsy, but they're all gone. It won't be, I got it at Hot Topic or I got it at the mall. Why don't you go get one? Another place for her individuality is Threadless. Any Threadless people in here? One? Couple? Cool. I love Threadless, and I love the Threadless guys. Threadless is a consumer-generated fashion label. So people actually upload artwork to Threadless, and then users of the community vote on that artwork to be placed on t-shirts. And after they reach a maximum number of votes, the t-shirts go on sale, and here they are for $25, and when they're sold out, they're gone. She can actually go on and say, okay, you know, I like the origami being lit on fire t-shirt. I'd buy it. Tell me if it wins. These guys, Jeff and Jake, friends of mine, they ship more than 1 million t-shirts a year doing it this way. And a majority of them are not the same because they only will produce 100 or 200 of that of any given t-shirt. Another place that she achieves her individuality online is a company called Start Mobile that I think is going to be quite large. This is a ringtone and wallpaper place, but it's all about independent artists and emerging designers and people that actually want to program their own ringtones. It was interesting to hear from the Singing Frog man earlier, because their slogan is sort of enough with the Singing Frog and enough with the Bikini Babe wallpapers. How long can that really last before the digital youth or anybody realizes that they all have the singing ringtone and they say, Sing Frog ringtone, and say, okay, where do I go to get this? So there are things like this that are popping up and allowing this girl Allie to go on and not have something that nobody else has, so she can really be an individual. So this trend, here she goes on, she types in her cell phone number, super easy. It's like everything else online now. Long tail, anyone? I mean, this is crazy. There's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of individual artists. If you are an artist, and if Allie was an artist, and Allie might be an artist, she could go on and actually upload her own artwork to be sold on this site, and then make money back off it while having unique ringtones and wallpaper. So this big trend, mass individuality, and online has only made that stronger and stronger and stronger. So when it comes to reaching or selling anything to Allie or to the digital youth, it's not about finding her. There are unbelievable researchers that can tell you exactly what they're doing. And it's certainly not about interrupting her. We know that. We learned that a long time ago. It's about creating content and functionality that she's going to seek out, use, or want to interact with on a day-to-day basis. So I do this chart. I do this chart to try to help illustrate this point. Things that that Allie seeks throughout her day as a digital youth are good. So she uses things like Twitter and Bebo and Facebook and I'm in Like With You and Etsy and YouTube, of course. But things that seek her as far as advertising and direct marketing and things that advertisers, and there are many in this room, say are bad, they're still happening because we're still trying to attract these people that way. So I think as someone who recently launched an agency working in this space, things that are happening in that other world of text advertising, which I think at least Google does contextual advertising, with all due respect, but they're still in another universe to Allie. You can go through that day that Allie used, and that was only 5 trends of a very short day. None of those things apply to her because she's not there. And even though this slide I try and show this slide while offending the least amount of people. Those things, they may be measured as effective to some degree because people are clicking on them or young people say they're working. But if you look at the trends in what she's doing in her daily life and things that she actually cares about, she doesn't care about those things. So that's all. Thank you.
Thanks. Stick around, of course. Please, have a seat.